Good evening, folks. It's 9:43 p.m. Today is April 13, 2022, Wednesday, and I'm recording a video for Mboxwave and using in combination with our trading edge levels. Okay, so in that process, you will learn also how I use Mbox on some days. I usually like to trade, as you already aware if you have seen my previous video, right off my levels, right? I'm a pure price action person, but recently I started using Mboxwave. I was one of the early subscriber there since 2018. I have a subscription. I had that Mboxwave. I usually like to buy all the packages, from all the vendors, and I usually try it out for my subscribers, pretty much, And if I like something, if it can help them, I usually buy it and I review it, and if I like it, I basically share with them. And if they wanted to buy it, they will go ahead and buy it. If they have a difficulty trading, despite the levels, still you have to use the context and everything else, right? So if they need some help, right, they can use all these tools, all the available tools, right? So let me walk you through the Mboxwave, right? How you can use in conjunction with the levels, right, and how you can read it. So let me first walk you through my notes. Day trading, the market notes, right? So it's today's note, right? So I'm going to only cover NQ. But you can read through all these things. I'm going to scroll through it. This is crude oil, right? And these are our dream numbers, very powerful numbers. And then see, it's all detailed notes, everything, with all the screenshots and labels, pretty much. So but anyway, so for NQ, today's notes were simple. Look for shorts conservatively below 167. 67 was dream number, and 18 was also dream number, and aggressively below 998, 985, right? Above these areas, some buyers may become active and they will try to get into yesterday's high, right? Yesterday's high was around 260 or so, somewhere, In that case, we may choose to go long, right? So basically, I'm saying, if price goes above this, at least that's the first warning sign for sellers, right? Because they are not being aggressive. If price goes above this, that means they are not even conservative shorts, right? That means now buyers are officially confirming about these levels, and you can go long targeting yesterday's high, which is 200 to 260 area, So that was a simple notes today. And apart from this note, in addition, I also talked with the subscriber in the live voice around 9 a.m. So 9 to 9:30, I basically walk through them, the additional details, because I usually publish my level at 6 a.m. in the morning or sometimes 5 a.m. in the morning, and after during till open, it's a 3 to 4 hours in between, and price can change, right? It can break certain levels. So I usually walk them during the morning voice between 9 to 9:30 and go over all the indexes, crude and gold. Okay, so that's a summary. Now let's go here, right? So these are the levels for NQ, which I gave it to them, and the dotted lines are the dream numbers. They are very, very powerful numbers. Every day, day in, day out, they work all the time, most of the time, I would say, that regardless of market is trending or not trending, usually they give a response, either one of them or both of them. So the dotted lines, okay, and the pink lines, blue lines are also important. So let's go here. So first thing I noticed, right? So let me tell you what I noticed. Very first thing, I had a feeling today that up day may happen. Despite yesterday's down move, overnight down move, I had somehow, usually I get those kind of feelings way early, So I had that feeling. That's why I kept my bias today. If you look at it here, neutral. Yesterday's notes, it was neutral bearish. Before that also it was neutral bearish. And suddenly I changed it to neutral today, just based on my feelings. But anyway, feeling doesn't work in the market, right? But usually I'm right. So first thing I noticed is this. See, I use also this thing. So let me remove this. First thing I noticed was bullish disconnect right here. So price gap down, but internals were positive, right? So that was a bullish disconnect favoring buyers. That's the first impression I got. and then second was AD was rising like an open drive. That's a second sign in favoring the buyers. Okay, so at least those two things right off the open told us that hey, some buyers are active, right? And then you can see these things, right? So 985, 990 area, this line, aggressive sellers area, right of the open with slight reaction, just took off with X control. Price just took care of it, you know, very fast. And then this dotted line, which is this is a 992 line, right? Let me move this away, right? Buyers just took out, right? And then dream numbers are powerful, and they also took that number out immediately right of the open. So those are the two signs, right? So now you have two signs before: bullish disconnect, open drive, price action. Price took off, took care of all these two good levels, aggressive levels of sellers, right? So at this point, four signs pointing to the buyers, right? The fifth sign, which is a very good sign, right? So what I noticed was this. Hold on. Like this. See, this was the top of yesterday's buying, right? That much buying, right? This line. And you can see it here. It easily crossed right of the open, right? So that means, yes, today's buying was greater than yesterday's entire day's buying in a first bar itself, or first 5 minutes, you know, or I would say first 1 to 5 minutes. That was a fifth sign altogether, right? So that buyers are in control, right? So, and hold on, so now let me, yes. So then price went higher, right? So up to this point it confirmed it. Now here at 67 we have a conservative sellers, right? As per the pre-market note, which is this dotted line, right? So look at this, price went straight up there, correct, to this level with higher delta, and then it came down, right? So if you want to short here, you can, because that's the final line in sand for sellers, right? It's a conservative shorts final level, and there was a 100 level also. But by looking at these 5 signs, right, you don't have to wait till 100 now. You already know buyers are in control, right? So all you have to do now is wait for a long setup. Simple, right? So I'm not going to cover all these shorts and all these things, right? Because for that you can view my other video, end of day video, which is in the YouTube, and you can go through this, you know, this entire video. So I'm going to only talk about Mbox today with levels. So now you know at this point that buyers are in control, and now you are looking for longs at pullback, you know. So ideal level would be what? Dream number, because price took care of it, right? Or 992. Both aggressive sellers will become aggressive buyers area, you know, pullback buyers area. So when price pull back here, right, even you can take a scalping short here. See that delta, negative delta, right? And X control, you can take a short, take a profit here, scalping trade, right? But I wouldn't suggest that. After seeing those 5 signs, you should only look for longs. So when it pull back here, right here at the first step, right, 18, you can go long here, but it was supported by this X controlled selling dot, right? So you have to wait. And then when it came down here, right, there was an increased supply, right? You can see it minus 130 coupled with, but it was coupled with bullish algo, right? SP, correct? And so it may go down. And now you look at here, there was also some selling going on also at the same time, right? It was little bit divergence here between these two selling point, but still I would say, you know what, selling was going on, and this thing was flipping from buyers to sellers, right? Cumulative delta. So it is risky to buy it here at 992, because all price has to do is just pop down, break below this, and more selling will come, right? So it's like a final edge. So you do not want to bother buying it here. You have to let it go. Then you see this X control buying came in straight up into this area, right? This yellow line I gave the users, subscribers during live environment. You know, I said, you know what, in 67 and 53 both make as a one zone and observe it, right? So now here you can see it came down, right? At this time you can see now delta is what, minus 94. So supply decreased, right? This thing also now decreased, and here change of behavior to the upside, right? So now it's a time to go long here with stop below this, and you go long. Simple, right? So here, let's say these arrows are all long setups, right? So here you go long, and now you wait for a price to go higher above 67, tag 100 or 130, which is 100, 130, 2330, this area, right? So see, these are the longs. There is another long here in it, and now this long also was supported by 24-hour VWAP also, right? So that's additional confluence here. So you can peacefully go long. Even though if you miss this, you can go with this delta 29 also long here, right? And then you can target higher up levels at this point, 9:45 a.m. buyers, which is this buyers, right? They told us the 5 signs, remember, that they are in control contextually for today. And then after 10 a.m., after this pullback held and price went higher, it confirmed it. At that point, probability was high for the price to take yesterday's high, which is 264, 200 area, right, as per pre-market notes, above this area. So here you can go long and target. You can target 130, 100, whatever you want to target it, right, based on your risk reward criteria. So I'm not going to talk about exit here, right, because exit is up to individual person. I'm only going to talk about entries, right? So you can take an entry here, and then you can take profit here, or maybe here, up to you. Or maybe you can hold it till 200. If you can digest and patiently wait through all this price action, holding your trade, then sure, you can target 200 or 264. But I would like to take profit, So at any warning sign, which is here, see 380 delta, ideally it's a higher high, but delta is lower, right? So that's the first sign, right where into my level 90, which is this, see this level, right? So it's a sign that we may be allowed, and you can see it here, see that instant drop. So you may take a profit here, right? Let's say if you're holding it, then you got lucky. Look at this dream number, price pull back to dream number 67, and then boom, right? Instantly 30 point or 40 point up move, and then it broke out, looks like it wants to go to moon, and you can see this delta 48. That is definitely sign to take to bail out. If you did not take a profit here, it's a sign you bail out, right? That is what I would do. This is what I did actually. So, but anyway, I'm not going to cover exit, sorry. So then it went down, right? And now we are looking at this zone to see whether price holds it or not, right? So if buyers are really in control, they should hold this aggressive, conservative sellers area and now turn it into buying area, right? Simple concept, right? So here it tried to break through it, immediately pop back up, even despite that minus 222 delta, right? Supply delta, which was higher than all of this combined, right? Or individually actually. But you can see the selling was not enough. Look at this, 130 selling versus 222 selling. See that? It was not enough selling, right? So it's kind of a selling divergence going on, right? So that's why price bounce, simple. And because of the levels. So now it's a confluence, all these things, right? So it bounced, right? It came back up here, 121 delta, suggesting buyers are in control. Then second time, so here the question is, can we go long here? You cannot go long here. Minus 222, supply is still there. You can't go long here. Price may come down here again, who knows? So you wait, and then it came down again, and here you can see minus 62, supply gone, selling gone. See that? So, and you can see this also later on. So I would go long right here at this dim number, and now I will target higher up area 133, which is this. See, so while price was here, I took this long right here, right? And then I gave them an exit in my subsidy score, right? That you can wait exit here or here or here, at this point. So that you can take exit here if you want to, but 291 delta, which is higher than this too, right? And you can see this big buying, right, above these things, right? That is the X space volume here also. Delta is flipped here. You can peacefully hold this trade to the next level, which is this, 200 level. But if you want to bail out here, right, at 160 blue line, you can bail out here also, right? And you can see it at 160, you can see this delta is reducing now. See that? So that's a good sign that you should bail out. And you can see this buying is also gone now. So bail out, right? Then we are seeing some selling dots here, right? X control dots. So looks like, and there is a pullback algo, everything is going on in favor of sellers at this point. But remember, contextually, now buyers are in control. There is no point scalping short or taking short. So you should avoid shorts, look for only longs. See, that is the key to survive in day trading for the long term, right? So now here you can observe it. There are more X controlled big selling dots, right? This arrows and pullback algos. Looks like, and you can see the lot of supply, minus 213, minus 108, right? Looks like sellers are damn in control and looks like price wants to tank down. But look at this. No selling. See, compared to this, literally no selling. That means price still wants to go higher. And then you can see this big buying dot, came in, took care of this entire balance, broke out. Now you see increased delta, increased buying also compared to all this garbage, right? And there was a flip here. See that? You can go long here. Now see, remaining this 200 level and 264 were targets, final targets, right? So you can target 200 or 264 at this point, right? So here 269, right? Here you can take a profit here, or you can even hold it, right? But when you see this thing, see that it's little bit decreased now, right? And now here you can see this, now sellers started to come in, right? So by looking at this, you can even, if you're holding it, you can bail out here, right? And now you can see this again selling came, right? Like similar to this scenario, correct? And more supply, right? But there was no selling here. See that? So you're not supposed to short anyway, correct? But this was a good setup. See that? Pullback algo, right? And then price went down, breaking below this balance. See here it did not broke below it. Here it did break, correct? And you can see these things flipping and this supply, more supply. Here you can take scalping short, targeting only to the next level if you want to short, This is a good setup. That's why I'm talking about short. And then you exit here, right? And then again you go back to the long setup finding thing, right? So you look for longs. Then here supply was more, right? But if you look at compared to 270, 253, lower low, less supply, divergence in selling, this is a good area to go long. But you wait for a confirmation if you want to. Then you see the X control dot, slight pullback, you can go long here. By the time this was flipped, right? More buying, you can go long here, target 264, which is this area, and you find that was a final maximum target potential for the buyers, So here you bail out, and luckily you can see that price did not go above after that. See, so that's how it is, So, and that be all for today. I hope I can prepare more videos like this.